This episode is all about wild rabbit meat, how to hunt, prepare and cook. Plus, how I zero my rifle. So if you're new to hunting or have forgotten about rabbit, then let's go. Oh, warning, there are headshots in this video. Rabbit is so underutilized, particularly in New Zealand. We love it, it's so diverse. We can do so many dishes, from rabbit schnitzel, rabbit dumplings, the good old rabbit pie and stew. It's one of my family's absolute favourites. How was the accuracy on the rifle? One at 92 metres, one at 97 metres. There we go, another 4, all headshot. I'll tell you what, the feeling of knowing as soon as you touch that trigger, if you know your rifle, you know your scope, you know your gear, knowing that that animal is going to be down before it even knows it. So what I want to do here is I've got a technique that works for me of skinning them, getting out the guts, and preparing them. So when I take them home, all I have to do is hang them, and I hang them for about 5 days or so in the kill fridge. So if you're a little bit squeamish, this is the time to look away. I get my knife. I love this knife. Get the rabbit, and I just make a quick slit just in here, being real careful not to get anywhere near that gut cavity. So now I just simply deglove it. Doing it when it's still nice and warm, it's going to be a lot easier to do it that way. I stand on here and then I just pop these front legs through. I just open up that belly cavity, being careful not to nick any of the intestines. Reach in, pull out, discard. I grab the tail and then I pull it down on itself. And what that does is it nicely pulls out the rest of the intestines, nice and clean. And then, as simple as cutting around the head, boom, done, just like that. And then in the bag she goes. Here we go, just like that. Very little effort. And it's a good clean up. And that feeling that I know I'm bringing meat home to the family. Let's carry on. Let's just see what's over this rice here. Just need 2 more. So there's my last 2. That's 10 rabbits. That's more than enough for the family. I can't wait to show you on the jet boil with some rabbit mince. And rabbit schnitzel. How tasty and diverse this meat is. With that rabbit back steak, I take off the silver skin. I also just add a little bit of moisture, so when I fold it over, beat it out, it doesn't grip to the plastic. Found an amazing spot here. Let's get out the jet boil mini mo, get that skillet out, get it cranking, make it happen. Here we go, get to use the knife again. Thing I'm going to cook is this bad boy, is the patty. The real beauty of this mini mo is because it's regulated, I can turn it right down so it's not just full cranking. Check that out. Also managed to find some wood air mushrooms. So here it is, fresh bred rabbit burger with wild mushrooms. That is so good. Anyone's told you rabbit is tough and hard to eat, don't believe them. Now this is just from 2 back steaks. So 1 rabbit has produced this whole pan of goodness. Oh, look at that, how good is that? Oh, I wish you could smell this. So there it is, the finished product. Now it's my favorite bit, the taste test. Check that out. 1 rabbit, 2 schnitzels, back steaks. Wow. We eat so much rabbit at home. I never get sick of it. It's so good. And it's just in abundance. If you get on the right side of farmers, they'll let you on. You'll get endless supply of some of the best meat available on the planet, in my eyes anyway. There's one more part to this video. It's my MOA, my gear, and how I utilize it. Plus, why not talk about how I zero a rifle and how that might benefit you. So you've seen the rifle, you've seen the ammo, and you've seen that incredible scope. Now I know that that scope is probably a little bit of an overkill for a 22, pardon the pun, but it's worth every single cent. And I can see bullet holes out to 150 yards, and that's with a 22, which is crazy. I'm 50 yards with the rifle and my gear. I've got the big lens, the camera, so we can see the impact shots of where those bullets hit. And here, we have nothing flash, but just a simple little target and a small dot. Got to work on my circles by the look of it. So here, let's say that we've put a new scope on, new rifle, or new ammo. I'm not worried about hitting that bullseye. What I am worried about is my group size and where it sits. Then we can simply move the reticles from the bullseye to the bullets. Let's go back there at 50 yards, set off 5 shots, see where they land, and then I can talk you through the process of this method that really works well for me. There's a little bit of wind, but not trying to make excuses. Okay, let's go check it out. Here it is. So there's 3 shots that are touching here. These 2 are low, but that's okay. I'm kind of within a finger mark of a 0 for 50, which isn't too bad for a windy day, even though I know, sounds like excuses. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up as steady as I can. I'm going to hold on that bullseye, and then I'm going to move my reticles, which I know it needs to be right and down, but believe it or not, it's going to be in reverse. As I turn right, my reticles are actually going to go left. As I turn down, my reticles are actually going to go up. Don't worry about it. I know it's confusing. Just trust me. So here we know we need to move right, and then we need to move down. But instead of guessing my distance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold steady my middle reticle of my scope right on that bullseye. And as long as my rifle and scope doesn't move, way easier with 2 people, I'm going to simply move my reticles up, and that's going to move the center of my bullseye until I find this group. Then when I've done that, I simply aim back at bullseye, and we should be bang on. Make sense? I know, it's confusing, especially when I explain it. Let's head back, move those reticles, and then let's let go of another 5 bullets, and we should be bang on bullseye. I hope I haven't oversold the method. Man, I hope this works. I've set up nice and steady, and I'm right on that bullseye. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to go right, and now I want to go down again, making sure it's nice and steady. Perfect. This is obviously so much easier if someone else is turning those turrets instead of trying to do it yourself. I'm going to lock these in, and then we'll let another 5 go. And in theory, it should work. Let's see if it's zeroed. I did feel like I rushed that sort of first shot, but that's okay. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Check that out. So that's my first shot. That just, something didn't feel right with that first shot. But these 4 here are pretty much touching. So there you go. That's my method, how I zero a rifle. What I do now is I unscrew the caps on the turrets. Be careful not to turn it. Make sure you don't hear any clicks. What that does is you take that cap off, you then put it back on so it lines up. There's a notch here. That needs to be on 0. And then you can dial up your MOA charts. It's as simple as that. The MOA is absolutely fantastic for distance, so you know where that drop's going to be for that bullet, but it's going to be windage, it's going to get you. Any little bit of wind, crosswind, it's going to play havoc, absolute havoc with your bullets. So when it comes to MOA, I just work on elevation and bullet drop, and then I make assumptions on the wind as I go. But there you go, the method worked. If you manage to get your hands on a Thumbhole ZZ 22 long, fitted out with a Meopta Sports R using Winchester Subsonics, here is my MOA chart, and you are good to go. Now, like every shooter, we all shoot differently, so just use it as a guideline. But I spend a lot of time making sure it's good for me on how I shoot, using the gear that I shoot. Let's keep this party started. There's too much adventure to be had. I'll see you on the next adventure. Click now, see you in a tick. We're talking gear list. We're going meat hunting. We've got a brand new tent. We've got a brand new rifle. 10 days solo in Fiordland, under 15 kilo. So what's in my pack? Why not hit the hills and do a meat hunt while I talk about it?